This is Lamont Palmer, and I'm going to be demoing how you can use the Family Tree Source Linker to link sources from FamilySearch to records in Family Tree. And the person I'm going to be working with today is Ida V. Thomas. And if we look down here, you notice here's her parents, and that we don't have a spouse for her. So one of the things I'd like to do is try to find a spouse for her and add him and the attachments. So I'm going to do, in the search box here, I'm going to search FamilySearch. So I click on FamilySearch, and it goes out and finds all the records it can match to this using those parameters over here. See, Ida V. Thomas, where she was born, and approximate marriage date. And so there was 12,590 records found. But I only want to look at the marriage records, so I'm going to look up here in collections, and I can filter out everything but the marriages. So if I click here like this, now all I will see is marriage records. And so now the first record I see there tells me that I found Ida Victoria Thomas. She's living in Findlay, Ohio, and there's her parents. So that's the right one that I want. So I click on her, and by clicking on her name there, it displays her detailed data down here. Now, this is the data that has been indexed right here. And you'll see a little more accurate data if you go out to the actual source. For example, the birth date, they estimate. But if you go out there, you can find out for sure whether that's the right year or not, because you can calculate it based on the data there. Today, I'm not going to click on that source for you, but you can go out and click on the source when you want. But now here it tells me I can attach that record, and I'm sure it's the one I want, so I attach the record. And now this is a sync. Now look, I can compare these data, and when I compare, I'll start with Victoria here. And let's see, I want to write down the information. We'll just say, for me, I'll say this compares Victoria, and I'll pull this up here, and I'll say this marriage record for Ida Victoria Thomas and George Hallman provides their birth dates and places, their marriage date and place, and the names of their parents. So there's a lot of information on this record. Now, over here, you'll see tag events. So I'm going to tag the birth, the name, and the birth, and the gender. Now, I can add it to the source box. And I want to do that because I want to use this record to go out and attach it to the marriage relationship record and also the parent-child relation. So if I click Attach, it attaches this record right now. That one did attach it to detail level. Now look at this add. This means currently George Hoffman isn't in the family tree. So I'm going to add it. So I click this. I look over here. He's male. Yeah, that's all that stuff seems to be right. This shows the location where it's being taken, where he was living at that time. And he's deceased. So I'll go ahead and click Create a New Person. And then I'm going to attach this record to the newly created record. This number here, this is new, so I'll attach it. Then I'm going to go up here and attach this record to the parents so that you can see there is a parent-child relationship from these. So I'll click on compare. And notice, as long as I don't get out of this source, this reason to attach source remains the same. So I tried to make it pretty general so it applies to all of them, but you can do whatever you like. So then I click name, gender. This all looks good, but I don't want to add this into the source box, so I'll take it off here. So now that this record won't be added to the source box. The previous one was, but this one won't. So I'll click attach. And then I'll do the same thing up here for William. We'll add him to the William. And now I want to add George's parents down here. So I go up here and I change to George Hoffman. Now, see, now where he's the focal point, so it's saying these are his parents, and they don't exist in Family Tree. So I'm going to add them. So they didn't find anything in Family Tree to meet it. So I'm going to say they were deceased, and I'm going to create a new person. And then I'm going to attach this record to that new record. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the mother. And I'm going to do a deceased. Click this. And now attach it to there. Now, what I've done here, I've attached this county marriage record to George Hoffman and Ida Victoria Thomas and to their parents. And I put it out on the source, put them in my source box, that marriage record. So I can return to record, and it brings me back to where I was searching right here. But I want to show you what has happened. So I'm going to look at Ida V. Thomas. We'll go out and look at her records. Takes a minute. And now you see there's two sources. If I scroll down here, you see there's George Hoffman has been added. If I look down here, here's the record we just added. Now, we can go out and look at George, this person. And now we've got his parents added too. So we added 3 new people, and we added the sources to all 6 of those individuals. Now let's see what happened in the source box. Notice, when I created or attached that source to her, Ida Victoria, the source box thing says if you want to put one in the source box. So it put one in with her name. When George, I did his, it had that flagged, so it put one here. And then I took it off of the parents so it didn't go here. So now I can go back and link that record to the marriage record. That's the benefit of having them in the sources. So I click here for family. Then I click here is how I can get to the marriage information. Okay, see, this is what it came from. And now I go and say I'm going to attach from my source box to justify that marriage record, that marriage information. And I'll select George just because. And I'll click this. And they want to know why I want to attach it. And I'll say this record contains their marriage date and place. Now I can attach it. And I'll go back up there. you'll notice that there's no real change here, even though I added a source to the marriage record. And also it doesn't increase the marriage count up here in sources. So we still have just one source connected to the detail, but there is now a source also associated with this marriage record or this couple. Now, what we've done is talked about using family history or FamilySearch sources and attaching them to individuals in Family Tree. And what we were using, they call it the source linker. When you look at a source and it says attach or review and attach, that's what we've done today. It's very powerful. If you go to any other sites, you have to do attach sources in a different manner, which I will be giving some videos showing how to do that also. So thanks for today. Goodbye.